for the winter celebrations. You know, and the mushrooms are very large and heavy. Amanita muscaria can grow up to 12 or 16 inches in diameter, almost a half a meter in diameter. They're very large, heavy mushrooms. And so they would find a tree in the sun and hang the mushrooms on the tree. And then I believe in the 4th century, we have it in our book, the exact date, but the church tried to ban the celebration of the tree and the Eucharist, but eventually they changed their mind and they accepted it. But what they did was they replaced the pagan Eucharist with the church's wafers, so it was still the same symbolism. What was hung on the tree was the symbolism of the Eucharist, the Eucharistic wafer of Christianity, so that, like I said, the symbolism is the same. But the reason why mushrooms are considered sacred and holy with the trees is because these types of mushrooms only grow in a symbiotic relationship with those types of trees, with the pine, the cedar, the fir, the birch, the oak trees. They only grow in a symbiotic relationship with the roots of those trees. So the mushrooms are literally the fruit of the tree. And this is the brightly colored packages that appear magically overnight underneath the Christmas tree. Now, you mentioned Coca-Cola and that sort of thing. The guy that came up with the Coca-Cola story was a German author and would have brought those traditions with him from Germany. But there's a very good book on that subject by Dr. Patrick Harding at the University of Sheffield, and his book is called Christmas Unwrapped. And he goes into a lot of the detail on the origins of the mushrooms and their symbolism with the holidays and the change of the calendars and things like that. So if anybody wants a lot more detail, I highly recommend your listeners get that book.
All right, thanks. All right, so we could say that the Amanita muscaria was the forbidden fruit.
I certainly argue that, and I'm not the first to do so. Throughout Europe, we've found numerous depictions of Adam and Eve standing on either side of different types of mushrooms. There was one found in the Abbey of Montecito in Italy that's displayed at the British Library. There's another found at the Plaincourt Church in France. We've got the Canterbury Psalter in England and Ethiopian Coptic texts that show mushrooms. The Bwiti tribe in Africa actually holds another psychedelic plant called Iboga sacred as their holy and sacred tree. So there's a lot of reference to sacred plants and mushrooms and ties to sacred plants that makes a strong suggestion that indeed the pine tree along with the mushroom is the fruit of the tree.
I remember I don't remember, but I read once an Indian chief saying to a white man coming to him and prohibiting him the eating of peyote, saying that you've got your Bible, you can read, we can't read, and we've got our peyote and Jesus talks to us.
Yeah, well, they don't say, something like you go to your church and talk about God, we go to our teepee and talk to God.
Exactly.
I don't think they spoke of Jesus specifically, but, being that it's the white man's conquering religion. That's the summary of that area of the Christmas tree. You have the symbolism of the Yggdrasil tree, which is the north, which is the poles expanding into the heavens, which ties it into astrotheology and the worship of the heavens. So this is the whole symbolism, the as above, so below symbolism that I was trying to explain earlier.
Mm-hmm. But I'm interested in one more thing. I've read once, and I would like your opinion whether it holds or not, that we could the Orion, the star system Orion, could be traced back to meaning urine, And since Amanita muscara, when you eat it, you can also drink the urine, and you are, according to some people, even more strongly affected by the active chemistry.
Yes.
Do you think that holds?
Well, the word Orion comes from the Greek, I believe, to make water. And we suggest in our book, as well as others, that indeed there is a tie between Orion and the urine drinking custom. There's one book out there that argues against it, but I don't think their research is very strong in order to support their case. But I would have to agree that yes, it does appear that the word Orion means urine, and as far as the urine drinking custom and it being stronger, what happens is the ibotenic acid is excreted in the urine in unaltered form. It's a cyclamide, well, I forget how to pronounce the word exactly, hydroxamic acid or whatever. It means that it's not destroyed in the body when it passes through. And so it can be reconsumed, and the ibotenic acid converts into mucimol in the body and is what gets us high. And some of the mucimol comes out in the urine as well. But the urine can be recycled up to 5 or 7 times, and it is suggested by many to actually facilitate a much stronger experience by those who are daring enough to try it. As far as the urine drinking itself, a lot of people will consider that, very filthy and disgusting, but that's a very cultural bias. Many cultures actually, like in India and China, they believe that urine is very healthy. And if your readers are interested in more research in that area, I recommend they go on Google and do a search for urine therapy, and they'll get